Hello, Jeff from the Court Theatre. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, and we're so pleased to hear that the Court Theatre's all good too.
So are we.
I bet you are too.
Yeah.
So really nothing to worry about there?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously when the first quake hit on the weekend, one of the first things that our chief executive was ring around and make sure all the employees were okay, and then ringing the engineers and find out if the buildings were okay. And initially, we actually went back on the Monday immediately after the quake to get back up and running, get on with everything. Obviously, the decision was then made with the aftershock to close the arts centre for all of that week, and then we've been back in there. We didn't even lose a glass from the bar.
Wow.
It's fantastic. Yeah, we've just been. I mean, looking at the arts centre, and some buildings have been quite hard hit by it, and unfortunately, our section, the court costume hire, some of those buildings up there as well, they're all fine. So we're very happy. Yeah,
really good to hear. So how have you been kind of rehearsing and doing everything like that when you were out of the court for that week?
Well, I mean, initially we did want to rehearse in the space if we could. Then the decision was made no one was in the Arts Centre at all as a sort of blanket policy. So we had the cast of Don't Mention Casablanca rehearsing in a scout hall in Brindwood. We had our kids show cast. They've been rehearsing last week and this week, so just a 2-week rehearsal period. And of course the cast of Eros, which is still running at the Forge for this week. We're just sort of standing by waiting for the phone call saying, right, it's okay, you can go in, we're going to kick everything off.
They
again.
were all ready to go.
Yep, pretty much.
Fantastic. There was a special performance on Friday night with Scared Scriptless, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. It went really well. We
Good.
we had 10 performers all just take the stage. 170 brave Cantabrians decided to come out for the evening. The really good thing is that we sort of looked around and everyone's wanting to get back to normal. So, you know, lots of people are going out to bars and to restaurants and things like that. And so we think theatre is a perfect case of escapist entertainment where people can just go forget about their troubles for a while and just enjoy some fantastic shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are some really good shows on at the moment and coming up too. Shall we start with the school holiday entertainment program?
Sure.
Because I don't even know if I can pronounce this. The Great Piratical Rumbustification.
Yep, I have trouble with it as well.
Wow.
A lot of the people phoning up are calling it the Margaret Mayhew Show, the Pirate Show, the Piratical Rumpelstiltskin, I think was another one we've heard. It's based on a story by Margaret Mayhew. It's about a couple of kids who, their parents in their wisdom decide to hire a retired pirate to be their babysitter.
As you do.
Yes, but it turns out he might not be as retired as he's been claiming.
Ooh.
Yes. So much merriment and
fun and intrigue in there.
Swashed and so on.
So now this is starting on the 27th of September?
Yes, starting next Monday, a week from today, and it runs for 2 weeks just through the school holidays. All tickets are $8, so it's nice and affordable.
Brilliant.
As we said, the theatre's completely safe, so people can bring their families and watch a show and just have a good old-fashioned piratical time.
Yeah, have some fun with the children again, because I know they've suffered as well, so they'll love this. Yeah. So 11 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Yep, Monday to Friday, and then on Saturdays we just have an 11 a.m. show.
Good stuff. All right, and try and say that when you ring up and book. The Great Piratical Rumbustification.
Yep.
Something that's slightly easier is Eros, which of course had started already and back into it again now. So it's its final week, did you say?
It's its final week now, so we have lost a week. Anyone who we've been basically most of last week we were ringing people from our houses, just rebooking everyone who missed out last week. So if you haven't heard from us, we will be getting in touch with you as soon as possible. And we've got, as I said, we've only got 7 days left of the show, so from today till Saturday. Great comedy, you know, lots of fun, lots of relationships going awry between 6 different people.
And it's on at the Forge too, which is a really good up close and personal setting for that. And of course stars Laura Hill, who was in a couple of weeks ago too. So check that out. You've only got a few more days. But the big one that's opened on Saturday.
Opened on Saturday,
yes.
yeah. A week later, so they had an extra week of rehearsal, so it's a luxury for our actors.
Yeah, I bet it is too.
Admittedly in a scout hall. But it's a great show. Don't Mention Casablanca. It's by Michael Ann Forster, who's written quite a lot of plays based on real events, like Daughters of Heaven, which was made into Heavenly Creatures,
right.
Larnac, Castle Lies Down in Dunedin, things like that. She's done dozens of plays. She's a phenomenal playwright. This is a really personal story for her, because it's the story of her grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Who had an affair with Michael Curtiz, who was the director of Casablanca, the Warner Brothers original. So it's a true story.
Is a true story.
It's a true story. Her grandmother had a short-lived, passionate affair with Curtiz in Vienna, in Germany,
wow.
in the sort of 1919, 1920s. And then he went off to Warner Brothers. She was left in Germany as a Jewish woman, as Hitler rose to power, as the sentiment turned against it. And so she ended up pursuing Curtiz Hollywood. She sort of had to leave her son behind to try and. She was the only one of Cortez had many lovers, but she was the only one who actually managed to ding in for child support. And so because she was so committed to maintaining this life for her family, she could see that things were turning nasty in Germany. She wanted to get her son out, but of course she didn't have the money. So it's this fantastic play about the power of family and love to prevail in incredibly trying times, which has turned out to be a rather apt theme.
Yes, exactly.
With lots of families pulling together and communities pulling together and things like that. So it's a phenomenal play. It got we've seen the play in the review in the press today, and it was just it was a stunner. So I'm not sure if it's the result of the reviewer being shaken or the extra week's rehearsal, or it just being a phenomenal piece of theatre with a great cast.
So who's playing the leading lady?
Lara McGregor, our Associate Artistic Director.
Wow.
It's her first major stage role. She filled in for Sandra Rasmussen in Four Flat Whites in Italy last year when we extended the season, but this is her first major role, and it's a stunner of a role. I mean, she's on stage for almost the whole time, just being this phenomenally, contradictory, complex woman. It's a great play.
She'll be loving that too.
She's having a good time.
What's the set like?
The set's great, secure and sturdy. No, it's a minimalist set. We were a little nervous because it has a whole heap of well, I don't want to give too much away, but it's a sort of memory play, so it's kind of flying back into that memory. So the actual performance is only done with about 2 chairs and a table, but the set itself is these 3 screens that sort of move about depending on where and when they are. And then there's the sort of furniture and things like that sort of exploding out of the set.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
No,
3 really good productions that we've talked about today, and you need to make sure that you've booked your tickets so that you don't miss out on seeing these, because they sound amazing, and as Jeff said, had really good reviews too. So Court Theatre, do support them. For bookings, phone 039630870 to book your tickets. But do have a look at the website as well if you have access to the internet, because it has everything there that you need to know. You can book to courttheatre.org.nz.